Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this, so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link. You can scroll down to the section called At the Bench. At the Bench is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. When you register, you must use your real first and last name separated by a space. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions over here in the chat box. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show, and understand sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, contest coverage videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please subscribe, share the videos, comment on the videos. All these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is the bottom tier. There's two tiers above that, but the $4.99 a month is like donating 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account each and every month. So I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself. Okay. And there's also, if you don't want to do the subscription, you can do the super chat, which is right over here below the chat box, and you can donate any amount you like. Now, you have to do this super chat during the live stream. But if you're watching a replay, you can donate using the super thanks, which is right below the big screen. Super thanks. Please hit the super thanks if you're watching the replay. We have more replays than we have during the live, than people watching it live. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you get special badges that Sparky and I can see in the chat box. So we know who are supporting patrons. And with your memberships, you also get, as a member of the family, you actually have access to member-only videos. Sparky has some videos that are designated for members only. He has some videos he's uploaded of Al Raid, which you might really enjoy. And plus, you'll be helping your hobby. So, I mean, please donate, please support, and show your support, by donating either through the super chats or the memberships, and at least give us likes. The likes help too. Those engagements help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. If you want to get in touch with me, if you have any comments or questions, reach me at my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. Flying Control Line Stunt. I fly control line stunt. So it's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you would, please locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video Sparky shot with his video camera, me flying his beautiful and light, I think it was like 58 ounces over 700 square inches, Junar XL. And it was orange then. He's repainted the plane. It's white with orange trim, I believe. But check it out. That's my first time at the Nationals, being judged by 5 judges. And it was just a bucket list day for me. So check it out. I took very good care of his plane, kept it out of danger. And but go ahead and comment, check it out. And there's other videos of me flying there as well. And I have videos of other people flying too. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at Stunthangar.com. Let me go there right now, and I'm gonna post this right here. And I have a message in the messages at the Stunthangar forum. I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to respond to that. It's been a very hectic day, so I didn't get back to it. I will get back to it shortly. And now I'm going to turn my attention to the what I call the control panel. And let me see here. So there, I see there's someone already in the chat box. Looks like Tom Rammel. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you for coming in first. And let me get to where I can see what's going on with the stream. I'm making my way to what I call the control panel. Just bear with me. And I always got to do a little editing there. And let's see here. Just give me a few more moments. And I'll be cooking with gas. And let me take care of this. Hope everybody had a good week. I actually did pretty good amount of flying this week. Since you guys met me or seen me last Monday, I flew Thursday and today. So that was pretty good outing. Yesterday I got 5 flights in, and then today I only got in 3, only because my flying buddy was having all kinds of problems with his engine and airplane, and so I was helping him with that. So, hey, Howard Rush is in the house.
You sure?
I'm sure. I see you. You have a mustard shirt on.
Mustard. Well, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Howard?
I'm doing all right.
Well, I really appreciate you coming in early.
It's nice to be here. I'm fixing to vacuum bag some Kevlar on the inside of my lid for my airplane box. It's made out of 1/4-inch plywood and it's unreinforced, and I'm afraid that airline people will crush my wing. Which is right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. So where are you traveling to?
Europe.
That's right. I remember Mary Lou said, let's go to Europe and let's go to those contests. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, man, you're so fortunate. You are so fortunate. That was something she solicited you.
Yeah, something like that. I asked, should I go out and practice tonight? If I crash, the deal's off. She said, no. I arranged all this stuff and you're not going to back out. So I decided I better not fly.
You have 2 planes though, right?
Well, not really. The other one doesn't pack very well and it's not as good. So.
Okay. I understand. But what?
It's okay. So now I'm fixing to do something goofy, which I might hide from your audience.
Okay. Well, John Miller is making his way in here, so
I'll do it in front of John.
All righty.
Yeah, he won't make.
What are you going to do in front of me?
I'm going to do something silly.
Oh,
Got to cut a piece of Kevlar cloth with a laser.
Put your mask on.
Very interesting. Hey, John, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Hi, John.
Hi, good to be here.
Big John is in the house. And in the chat box, we have Marcel Legrand. He says, hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School. Thank you, Marcel. I really appreciate that, Stunt School. And Gary Sinclair, who is the first member of our YouTube channel, is in, and he's also one of the monitors we have. Craig Biswick is also a monitor. There might be others that don't remember right now, but he provided us with a like. Thank you, Gary. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, everyone? He says, hey, what's up with you, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? That is a good name to warm me up. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. And then John Skukalek, he was also a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your support. And he says, I love scientific experiments, Howard. Yeah, thank you, John, for coming in. I appreciate that. And it looks like, I'm not sure who came in next. I suspect it was Bart Kaplansky. Hey, Bart, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
All
Pretty good. I
right,
just had to figure out how to join the training.
Yeah, you broke up just a little bit. I don't know what's up with your audio, but it's okay. You know, when Dennis Adamissa used to come in, he had problem with audio, and Carl. So hopefully we'll get that straightened out. You might need to get a better mic, or it might be something else. I don't know.
It's built into the computer, so I just won't talk, okay?
Oh no, we'd be shortchanged if we don't talk.
Or you can plug a mic into the computer. You know, I've done that.
Yeah, just buy an auxiliary microphone. It'll plug into your computer. I wish I was there. Well, you know, I know you're pretty far away, but
I wish a lot of you guys were here.
yeah, I know. Go out there and have a fly-in. Let me welcome Gary Sinclair. Hey, Gary, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, Gary. How you doing?
Kilroy is here.
And then we have Lynn Burrell.
Lynn Burrell, yeah.
The first Canadian in. Hey, Lynn, how you doing?
Hopefully I'm not the first Canadian out.
No, hopefully not.
Might
Hopefully
be the
not.
first Canadian. I might be the first Canadian out like a light.
Yeah. So what's on your
Oh,
shirt?
we'll
Is that
see.
a Brodak shirt? I see something that's kind of familiar.
Bronak
It is a Brodak shirt. How'd I get that right? All right.
of control
Let
line.
me make you big here. I love that. That's a good shirt. I love control
go.
line. I love it.
Control line.
Do you have the
You
sticker?
betcha.
You have the sticker on your car as well?
Oh yeah, I've got that on the bumper, and there's the back, of course.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
control line. There we go. Yeah, that'll work.
There you go.
I like that. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind. I need to get me the bumper sticker and the shirt.
Got the bumper sticker. It's been on the car for years.
Now, have you
And
ever
on
had
the old
anyone,
car too.
have you ever had anyone ask you about that bumper sticker?
Not one.
Not one. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I was thinking that
No.
that might have been the case.
It doesn't mean anything to anybody, Charles, except us old farts.
Yeah. Now, when you put your AMA on it, they might think you're a doctor.
Oh, that might be true.
Let me welcome
It's true.
Jonathan Carradas. Hey, Jonathan from New Zealand in the house. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Good. Thanks, Charles. How are you going? All right?
Doing good. I went flying
Yeah.
yesterday and today.
Oh, well done.
So you know,
Yeah, well, we might have a fly tomorrow. I've got friends coming shortly, so I'm probably going to. Oh, in fact, I think they're here now. I'm going to have to go. But I was just thinking, when I saw that T-shirt, I thought I must get one made, and it says, "Control liners fly in higher circles, move in higher circles."
I like that. I like that. It's a good idea.
I'm
And-
sorry, I'm going to have to go. We've got
No
visitors
problem.
here.
Hey, thanks for coming in. If you would, on your way out, give us a like. You know how to do that?
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah. And give us a super chat. You know how to do that?
Okay. Okay, guys.
All
Good
right.
to
Thank
see
you.
you briefly.
All right, man. See you,
See you later,
man.
See you
Jonathan.
next week. Yeah.
All right. See you next Monday. All right.
Yeah. See you
You
on
know-
Monday.
All right.
You
And
know, Charles, I've been picking up some action off the control line T-shirts I've been wearing around town here. I picked up introductions to two guys that fly model airplanes in the area. Didn't even know they were around. Of course, they haven't been flying for a while because there used to be a whole bunch of them, and then all of a sudden they kind of quit doing it, and so there's hangers on, but they're not doing a whole lot.
well, maybe they'll get going. I mean, at least you made their acquaintance and they have a contact person, and you can help them acquire the materials and stuff we need. Sometimes people don't know where to get the stuff.
Well, I think they might help me. One guy has a 7-acre flying field
Oh,
his own.
sweet.
and a shop. So,
Very nice. Yeah, that might get you going too.
Yeah.
And let me welcome Bill Bomer. How you doing, Bill? Yeah, I know you're muted.
Hi, Charles. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, pretty good. Good. Not really doing too much. Wanted to say hi to Mark there, Mark Gerber. Hi, Mark. We've been talking to Hawker Hurricanes a little bit, and a few weeks ago when that topic came up with that really nice semi-scale one from the fellow in Italy, I got the magazine article there from Mark, and really trying to pursue that actually to see if I can find some plans for it. And actually the article and everything on it there, my son-in-law's father is Italian, and so he'd be able to translate all of that. So I'm going to, in fact, they're on their way home from Italy tonight, so I'll be talking to him soon about it. And I know the fellow that designed it there, this is something I'd gathered before. I've actually got an email that I might try and contact him. And the other thought would be trying to recreate the plan. CAD, I know John there is a kind of a CAD guy. Don't know how it would work out to be able to to make a good plan from his his smaller one, the magazine size. But anyway, something I really like to pursue because I've seen this airplane before and followed it and really was trying to find info on it. So was quite happy to hear about it the other week.
It's
But
not
other than
that
that, unfortunately.
it's not that
Sorry?
hard, Bill, to just to make a DWG file. It's a traceover. They have a program that's supposed to do it automatically, but it doesn't do a very good job. It creates a Picasso work of art.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, 'cause I know I've tried to take a small one and just have it enlarged at the copy place, but the
doesn't
lines
work.
end up being 3/16 thick by
Yeah,
the time you're done. But
yeah. If
anyway,
it's
if
in
I can't,
if it's in a PDF file, then you can do
Yeah.
that. But you can't do
Oh,
that with
yeah.
a picture file.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm something I'll definitely like to look into because it's a beautiful scale stunter.
Yep.
Where's the
Fantastic.
guy live that has this airplane in Italy?
I'm sorry.
Where does the guy in Italy live?
Oh, yes, I saw it here. Palmero, Italy. Palermo. I mean, yeah, Palermo,
Palermo.
Italy.
Palermo.
Yeah,
That
Bruno
insists-
Massara.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm. Never mind.
Okay, yeah.
No problem. And let me welcome Mark Gerber, and then I'll welcome Tryon. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good, Charles. How are you?
Doing good. Went flying yesterday and today, so that's always good. Well, I was flying my SV11.
I got mine in the air.
Oh, that's great. What do you think?
It's been a bad week.
Oh, no.
No, I didn't crash it, but the first thing I couldn't get it to run right. So I took it home and started taking things apart, and I found out that the pressure fitting on the muffler was plugged.
Okay.
That'd make a difference, yeah.
Yeah. And I have no idea how it got plugged or what exactly was in there. There's some material in there. I can't figure out what it is. I don't know if it was in
Like
there during the
castor oil.
manufacturing no, this is brand new.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was in the manufacturing process or something I got in it in the basement somehow, but anyway.
Huh.
I fixed that, and then now the motor runs good, but the plane doesn't fly very well. And I took it back home yesterday morning and did some more checking on it, and it turns out the stabilizer was crooked. It was, down on one side and up on the other side.
Okay.
So when I would do a loop, it would show me the outboard wing really well. And like it was making a right-hand turn. So I clamped it down and put a weight on the eye tip and put a heat gun to it this morning, and looks like it's back in alignment where it should be.
Oh, good.
But it's been raining all day, so I haven't been able to do any flying today, and hopefully maybe tomorrow.
I'm glad you got
Don't feel bad. It's all it ever does here. It never stops raining here. It's just been days of rain every day and high humidity. I can't fly. I can't paint my airplane. I can't do anything. I'm just like going crazy.
You can still build though.
I don't want to build it this time of year. It's the wrong time of year. It's middle of summer. I want to fly.
Right.
Yeah, I've got one airplane that I just have to get the color coats on and bolt the motor into it, and it's ready to go. And it's just the fuselage. The rest of it's all iron on. But I can't fly it until I get the paint done on the fuse, and I can't get the paint done on the fuse because the humidity's in the 80s and 90s every day.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
So it's just like it just rains incessantly here. It's crazy.
Wow.
That's summer in the Great Lakes area.
Oh, it's just brutal.
Now, what is this
Absolutely
model you're talking
brutal.
about? What model plane is it?
Impact.
Oh, wow. That should be nice.
Yeah, I started breaking in the motor yesterday, but then the storms came and I couldn't even finish doing that. So just it's just making me nuts.
And what
What
engine?
model
I
you
ran-
putting
I
in,
ran-
Lynn?
PA 61.
Nice.
All right.
Absolutely outstanding motor. I was running 2-minute runs on it yesterday to break it in. And that motor started 8 out of 10 times on one flip.
Wow. Nice.
Right out,
Something wrong
like
with that.
brand new, right out of the box.
That's
Something wrong
It's
with
just
it.
outstanding.
what you saying, John?
Something's wrong with it.
Yeah, it didn't do it 10 times. You're right.
Well, let me
No.
Yeah, I left
Outstanding
Tucson
motor.
for Utah. The humidity was 3%. If you spray the paint airplane because it's already dry.
Oh,
Sorry, dry when it hits the plane.
yeah, that's not good either. Yeah, that's true. Let me get Tryon, and then next it'll be Philip, and then after Philip it'll be Stuart. Hey, Tryon, what you been doing? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it very much.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think I finished my fuselage painting.
Oh, really?
Next up would be panel lines, and if you want to see the
Ew.
end
Oh,
result,
that's pretty. That's very beautiful. Nice.
I don't know, it could be hard to polish those wings out.
now I'm not sure if you can see the detail here around the canopy. Try to get close in it. See that?
Oh, what do you got there? You got the Zert fittings around the
They're
yeah,
just like a rivet kind of thing.
yeah, very nice. Very good.
And look at the nose detail here.
Oh,
Oh,
very
that's
nice.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, is that Griffin knocking at the door?
No, it's actually a dragon now. So,
Oh,
but
wow.
it's a dragon knocking at the door then.
Dragon knocking at the door. Okay.
What is that pilot? That's what I can't figure out. Looks like a vampire.
And I just like the, the overall look of it, the balance of it. You have
Yeah, it looks nice.
you have the
Is
yellow
this for you
stuff
or your
here,
son?
yellow in the tail. Just it's an overall nicely balanced paint job.
Is this for you or your son, Trey?
It's for me. If
Cool
he wants
deal.
to
You'll
fly,
enjoy
he
it.
can fly it. I don't care.
That Vector is a fun airplane to fly. I really like mine.
Yes, I hope he's gonna fly good. That's yeah.
I think it will.
But I build it light. I build it very, very stiff. I did some reinforcements here and there. Like the elevator is highly reinforced, so it doesn't flex. It doesn't flex anywhere, so it should be pretty rigid, pretty good. And it's a very light plane too. So
Very nice.
So I was just testing just now. I took out my you see that?
Hang on, make you big here. Making you big, okay?
So I'm not sure if you see that the
I see a line, but I don't know what it is.
but you see the shine in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is this Sharpie that I'm using, like it's a chrome paint actually.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, and it seems like in 2 minutes it's already dried up. So I'm going to use this to do the panel lines on the fuselage, wings, and everything. I was just doing a quick and dirty test to see if it smudges off after I put it on, and I just kind of run my finger over it to see if it's locked in there. But
No, it looks
but
good.
this works very good on I think it's gonna work great for the wings, for example, over monocoat, over just about anything. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's paint instead of ink, so it should be good.
Yeah, should be. So, well, that's it. Well, that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let me
That's
welcome
good.
Philip Bailey. Hey, Philip, how you doing?
Doing great. I'm getting ready to go flying in the morning, but we're going to drive down to Huntersville to a half A contest tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Should be a lot of fun. Haven't had the half A's out in quite a while, so it should be a lot of fun.
What half A models do you have?
The Pinto's not ready to fly yet, so I'm taking are Little Satan, which is a little combat plane, and then 2 little race planes. One's a Goodyear and one's an unlimited racer. So it's our unlimited. I've forgotten what to call it. Half A unlimited racer, I guess. It's a lot of fun. It's the rat racer of half A's, and it's a whole lot of fun. It's neither one of them's been flown in about 15 years. I built them, but the guy that flew them passed away from a heart attack. So I just kind of lost interest in flying half A when Buddy died. So anyway, we're gonna take them out and see if there's somebody that'll make them go round and round. I'll launch it if somebody else will fly it, but flies too fast for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I had a nice the first half A I designed, and actually I flew it in the first half A competition at the Nats.
Oh, me.
Way back when, and I won it.
Very good.
I put like over a 500 score on it.
Very good. Half A, that's pretty impressive.
Those are 505 with a half A.
Pretty
good. It was
good.
beautiful. It was I borrowed Billy Warwich's building construction technique, and in particular the I-beam wing.
That works really well on half A's. It really does.
So it was a halfway IB wing, full body fuselage with a big Gene Greenaway style crutch. I mean, it was the works, and it flew beautiful. And I wasn't flying it too fast either. On I think all 12 solid lights.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm happy to say I'll never do again. I've been fooling with
those kamikaze maybe, but
yeah, I've been fooling with those 008s or whatever they are, and they're so darn fragile. Now that we've got the Spectre line, you take this stuff and wad it up and straighten it out and go fly with it. It's great.
It even did a little bit of 242 brake on it, you know. Because
Really?
I don't know if it'll do that or not. I don't know if Pinto will be ready in a couple of weeks. It should have been ready, but we've had a lot of rain here too.
Mhm.
We had a storm here last night, it was really real gully washer. So we're hoping to have Pinto flying in a couple of weeks. And Buddy's got his buddy. Well, we had two buddies. Now we just got one. Buddy Spock passed away a few years ago, but now Buddy, God, I don't know why I can't think of his name. I fly with him every week. Anyway, Buddy has a tsunami that we got plans to at Brodak, finished and flying, and it is flying very well.
Are you trying to say Buddy Weeder?
No. Buddy Weeder. I know Buddy. I knew Buddy Weeder. I met him. No. Hang on just a minute.
All right, well, let me get Stuart in. Hey, Stuart, your microphone's muted, but how you doing?
All right, good. Yep. Except the rain up here. We got to get rid of the rain. Oh my
So
God.
that means you haven't been doing any flying either. You're just like Lynn Burrell, huh?
Yeah.
He only lives a half hour from me, so he knows all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry
Terrible.
for that. Yeah,
That's a result of all those forest fires up there.
Yeah. Probably.
that should do some good for the forest fires.
All right.
And then we have
That's
Mark
it.
Wise. Hey, Mark, how you doing? I'll come back to you, Philip.
Hey
That's all right.
guys.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey Howard. I'm doing well.
Howard's over hiding in the corner. There you are. Okay. Got your mic muted, Howard.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Mark. I really appreciate it. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. Good to be here. It's good to see Len awake.
It's rare.
No.
Rare, but it does happen.
Hey, it's good to see you.
To you too.
Very good.
Muted, that's what I was wondering if you were here earlier because our buddy from New Zealand bade us farewell. He said, "Bye, guys," and I thought, well, golly, is Mark here? Never mind.
My goodness.
Oh, looky here.
All right, mimic it big.
Oh no, it's not worth making me big.
You sure?
Laser cuts Kevlar.
How about that?
It'll cut sandpaper too. And it doesn't dull the laser. For either
Nice.
way.
Wow.
Okay,
All
never.
the laser.
And I'm sorry to bother you.
You're not bothering me.
You
Not
ain't
at
bothering
all.
nobody, but dull the laser. Now that's bad. That's bad.
Let me
Oh.
catch up on the chat box. Terry Mitchell, he says, like sent. Great to see everyone. Did you find the picture on Facebook Messenger yet? I think he's talking to you, John. John Miller.
Which one, Marcel?
Remember you guys had a disconnect? Remember he had sent you one before and you didn't see it?
Yeah, well, I got two. I got one with him flying his hang glider to music, and I got one
That's a trick.
with a tour of his shop to music. So I'm trying to figure out which one he's referring to.
Terry, let us know which one you're referring to, Terry Mitchell. And then Edward Carlisle, he says,
Well,
like,
sorry, I'm talking about Marcel. I don't recall getting anything from Mark Mitchell.
Terry Mitchell.
Terry Mitchell.
Yeah. Anyways, and then Edward Carlisle, he said, like, sent. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate that. And now Marcel Legrand, who we was talking about earlier, he said, plane looks awesome, Tryon. Tryon stepped away. I'll repeat that in a minute when Tryon gets back, Marcel. But yeah, the plane does look awesome. And now we're all caught up. Now, if anybody in the chat, if you have any questions or comments, something you want to have clarity on or have a question, please do that. Please ask the questions in the chat box. We have talented people here, and I really believe you'll get a good answer. Go ahead, John.
I got a question for Mark Mitchell. Not Mark. With Terry Mitchell. Could you perhaps be using my old email address? if it doesn't have a 2 in the middle of it, it's not my current one.
Okay. Terry Mitchell said, "Wow, John, we used to fly together when you came to Seattle or the regionals."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so long ago. That's so long ago. I think I've lived a different life since then.
And then he says twin. That might be referring to the picture.
I'm sorry, Terry. This is terrible. It's hell to get old.
Yeah. John, what's your middle initial?
A.
Okay, he said John A. Miller. All right. Yes, the right John. Well, Terry, why don't you try it again? Send the picture on Messenger. Are you a member of the well, the pictures are kind of hard to send in Stunthangar. You get them, shrink them down. But yeah, try it again and see if we can make a connection.
Okay.
But anyways, we're back. We're back. So it looks like I've done some flying and
Oh, no, say it ain't so.
yeah, I did flying yesterday and today. And Joe
Oh,
Mott
my.
flew with me as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Cool
go do
deal.
some flying with Black Baron.
You do some flying? Do it.
With Black Baron right now.
I get it now.
Pizza.
I get it now. I get it.
Oh,
That went over my head.
bad. That went over everybody's head. John's getting bad.
Yeah.
Trying to make the
Mark,
rest
any
of us
news on
hungry.
the Nats or the world champs?
Did you hear that,
You
Mark?
out there? Must be muted.
No, he's not muted. You're not muted. Mark was Lynn Braille's asking, is any news on the world champs?
For the Nats for next year.
Nats for next year? Any information on that? Any
Oh,
update?
for the AMA site?
Yeah.
Ah. I guess, yes. Yesterday we had last night we had a Zoom meeting. And it was the 5 SIG leaders, myself and Free Flight and a few other people. Some AMA, Bill Lee was on it. And really it was a look at the original sketch in 1991, I think. And now a revision. And what we're thinking about, would it make more sense to have each discipline basically in its own kind of area? So, for example, one of the discussions was, how would you feel if control line was on the front of the property as you're driving into the left side of AMA headquarters, all the way down at the other end? Everything could be together. There could be new pads, new L pad, new grass circles. So the idea is to get RC guys in one area, free flight guys in one area, guys and women, with the possibility also of an indoor building. So some of the free flight guys, maybe control line guys, could do some flying in inclement weather. So it's just the start of an interesting plan. From my understanding, most of the money is available in 2025. So I don't know, 15, 16 months, something like that. So it's a nice opportunity to, kind of scratch your head and say, gee, if I could have my way, what would it look like? And that way you can kind of fix some things that are broken. But at the same time, none of the disciplines want to lose anything. So if you have a new site, that means you have a new pavilion, you have power requirements, you have parking requirements, you got places to put out your lines, you got all kinds of areas. So we'll see. I can promise you if we do move, it'll be for the better, or else we won't do it. I think we can possibly get more paved circles out of the deal, which I think would be great. And particularly good ones. So good meeting. They're probably going to go every 2 weeks for, I don't know how long. I hope I'm coherent when this actually takes place.
Yeah, please.
So, and of course, we're talking about the Worlds, and last I know, I believe the official dates are going to come out possibly in October.
Good.
The FAI is way behind. The award should have been made 2 years before the next World Championship. Well, the next World Championship is in August of 24. So we now have less than a year for a lot of work and a lot of planning. And a lot, everyone needs to make those plans. So we're moving ahead.
Even from a competitor's point of view, they have to get their plane tickets and get ready and whatever, some finalize.
Absolutely.
It's like, yeah. And the plane tickets are going up in price by the minute. So
well, it's also for people who live in the States who may want to spend both weeks, in Muncie. Well, you can't wait too long to do that. Especially if you don't want to pay hotel rates for 15 days. And if you want to get a house or something like that. So I'm pushing as much as I can. So is Bill Lee. But it's like pushing against one of the great pyramids, It's going to take a lot of people to push. So hopefully it'll go well. And Paul and I have been talking, texting a few times every week. He's on the road on an extended road trip. That sounds great. So it's either that or I'm going to move it to Delaware. Might not
Make life easier on you, yeah.
Yeah, at least it'd be good for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me welcome Joe Gilbert. Joe, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. How you doing?
Doing fine.
Good.
Good to see you, Joe.
Yes, Mark. Thank you for what you're doing.
We're trying.
Thanks, Mark.
not to be confused with trianing.
Yes, that's true.
So you've been burning in some flights, Joe Gilbert?
I went out today and we mowed. We went in and cooled off and come back out with sprinkling. Looked at the radar and there was rain coming, so we came home. We're going out 8:30 in the morning to get a good day of flying. And yeah, it's all good. Just keep working at it. You got to get stunts hard, y'all.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
No doubt. No, for sure.
But crashing is
Harder by
not.
the year.
Crashing is easy.
Crashing is
Crashing's easy. I've proved it many times.
This is that Blue Max, Joe Gilbert.
Everybody can do that.
How many flights do you have on it?
Oh, I don't know. Lots.
Oh, you have lots of flights? I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I got two of them. And the first one I bought from Steve Moon. And I've had to replace clevises and parts. And it's lots. Lots, dude.
Okay. All right. I
I've
just
let-
don't know why I thought that plane he showed. I thought it was a new plane. I didn't realize.
And I haven't flown that one since 2019. It's been in the box, but the other one I fly quite a bit. They're similar. That the one I fly a lot has a Rojet 67 rear exhaust. And I don't know, Tim Stagg, Russell's flown it. Tryon flew that airplane one time. It's been flown by lots of folks.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it's
I remember flying it.
a nice airplane. It's a good machine, but it just, getting your hands and you gotta get things right, man. It's hard. Billy Warwich called me last night. I want you to know. I was pumping my-
Nice.
Oh!
Hey, brother, you have arrived.
You have made it. You are in the stunt circle.
So fun. He says, I'm building a ringmaster. I need to know what I need to do. I said, Billy Warwich, you don't need to ask me nothing. So I just it was fun. We had a good visit. He's doing fine. He sounds happy and healthy, and he said he's on dialysis, I think, but he's doing fine. He sounded real good.
good.
It's
Real
good.
good.
Joe, Joe, anything you want to build, you call Billy Warwich, except the ringmaster.
No, he
But
can.
when the master calls you, but you got to accept you are Mr. Ringmaster.
Well, he said, "You still got your white hat?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I do."
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, if Billy calls you and asks for advice, you have arrived, brother.
I don't know about a ride, but I said, "Dude, this is what I do, but you don't need any lessons from me." That boy's been there building airplanes for 70 years, probably. I can't teach him anything.
No, there's always new tricks.
He knows how to build.
Oh, I know that. I'd like to have that supply of balsa wood that he and Bob Hunt seem to have the market cornered on.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Hunt's got some wood that absolutely weighs nothing.
Bobby knows how to build too.
Oh, I know both of them do.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
Phil, I've been to Bob's house when he shows me his best stock. And when he pulls the weights off, the wood just floats up in the air.
I don't doubt it a bit. I heard rumors years ago, and I don't know if this is true. I'm not going to say it's not true, but it makes me wonder. I heard that those guys in New Jersey and around in that area, there was a bunch of them that had gone together, and there was a 2-car garage somewhere that was absolutely full of contest balsa. And I don't doubt it with those guys.
Wow.
But they said there was a one heaping stack of contest balsa. They called it their warehouse, but it said it was a 2-car garage and it was slammed full of balsa.
Nice.
I don't know if any part of it's true. It's just one of those images that puts in your mind and you think, well, dang, how am I supposed to compete with that?
Yeah.
I've heard that rumor too, Phil.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story about Bob Gialdini. Bob Gialdini told me one time that when he built his Olympic, actually, I guess it's either, well, anyway, we'll go with Olympic, that he was working for a company or he had access to the salvage yard, where they were taking the old World War II lifeboats or life rafts off of these ships, and they're all balsa. And,
yes, sir.
And they would sneak in there or get in there, and they'd haul out this balsa. And a lot of his planes were built with that balsa out of those super lightweight, lifeboats.
Safety boat, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what, my favorite story on Bob Gialdini, he worked for Harley Davidson for a while.
Yeah, he did.
Guide to show people around. And he said it's hard when you're sitting talking to people about how they build a motorcycle and all you got on your mind is how to solve a problem with an airplane. How are you going to argue with Bob Gialdini? I mean, we were at VSC talking, and the man just absolutely astounded me. I mean, I actually remember going over to Tom Looper's house one afternoon after work, and we were going to work on something, and the new model aviation had come out, or it might have been Flying Models. I don't know what it was. It was a new magazine, and on the cover was Bob's Olympic, and inside was, how they used to do, one page was a set of plans to the Olympic. And we're looking at this thing and thinking, wow, this thing is really wild, especially that cooling duct that comes down almost to the canopy. This was a wild looking airplane. And now we know it's basically a Nobler. Back then we had no idea. But makes you feel old when you think about remembering when that airplane was new. Oh man.
I bet. I have a comment from Marcel Legrand. Actually, it's a question. This is for Bill Boomer. He says, Bill, is your SIG phaser RC or control line? Oh, you're muted, Bill. I'm gonna make you big so people can see that phaser back there.
Yeah, no, it's a control line.
Oh, great. He says that.
I actually got that from Ivan McKenzie, combat flyer up here, and flew really well. I always wanted a kit and never was able to get one, and he brought it to the club auction one night, and I was able to get it. So I haven't really flown it. It's got a LA 46, but I was hoping to put a Super Tiger 46, but I was going to have to do too much work on the nose, and I didn't want to cut up the airplane. So I'll try it with the LA 46 or the LA 46.
You'll like the LA. Uses a lot less fuel. That's one of the most mild-mannered, by best running sport motors out there, period.
Yeah,
I've got several
never seen them.
Super Tigers and I like them, but that LA is a great motor.
I've never seen the LA do a good 2.4 brake though, like the Super Tiger.
No, they don't
But
2.4
I
brake
really
the same
like-
way. I got a question for you. What is that white plane that's upside down, hanging from the ceiling behind you with a gold stripe on it?
One, that's a Score,
Four.
the top
Okay.
flight Score.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an ARF. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh boy, you got a batch of them.
Yeah, I have a Kestrel, Kestrel 46, an Epic up there ready to paint, Windy Spitfire wing, a Praxis ready to paint. I have lots of projects that are ready to paint.
I mean, you're in the same boat I'm in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've got several downstairs that need paint, and every time I have a day that I've not got anything planned, nobody's coming over, I don't have to go help anybody, I got nothing to do, don't have to go, nothing to do. It rains.
Yeah, painting is a problem.
Yes, it is.
Seems
It
I
really
never can
is.
get to it.
Try that water-based paint. I keep telling you.
Automotive. Get you some
Well,
automotive.
Well, does the automotive paint work any different? You still got to do it in dry, don't you?
You paint in the rain, far as I know.
Lord, maybe I'll
It
try
doesn't
some.
an issue at all.
Same with that water-based paint that I use, Phil.
Well, I'm gonna
No.
try. I'm gonna try the water base on one, but I've already got it earmarked. That Twin Electric's gonna have that water base on it.
Yeah.
Good show.
Bill, are you gonna be able to make it out to the contest in Toronto on the second last weekend of September?
Who was that for, Lynn?
Yeah,
Bill Bowman.
probably me. Yeah, I might. Let's see, second last week. I'm going to Reno Air Race.
I'm breaking up here.
September. From the
When is
10th
that?
to the
Earlier in
20th.
September?
Yeah, 10th to the 20th. I'll be away for that. So I
Okay, so
should
it's
be
the
back.
following
I'd love to.
weekend.
Yeah, I'd love
Okay,
to try to
that'd be
make it out.
We're gonna have stunt both Saturday and Sunday. They're gonna have two contests in 2 days. One
Right,
for the
yeah,
T&D and one for the anniversary.
Oh yeah,
Neat.
yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll
So they're
try
gonna
and see
have-
what I can do for that.
They'll have big stunt and profile.
Ah,
So look into it. Look into the balsa beavers and find out what they're flying, but we're flying lots of events that weekend at
Yeah.
Centennial. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Phil.
Does anybody know when is Oshkosh or when was it? When is it next year?
Oh, I don't know. It's long ago.
I'd
It'd be in
like to
July.
try to.
I think it was in July.
Got the
but
good,
usually
it'd be
the-
in July next year.
The
but I
last
can't-
week of July.
last week of July. Okay. I was told yesterday, Tuesday.
20
I was told Tuesday I'm going to that next year. So,
22nd to the 28th, Phil.
okay, of July. Okay. I
Yeah,
plan to go next year. I got a friend who says I've been 5 times and I want to go one more time. You're going with me.
it's the biggest dog and pony show you ever seen in your life.
Well, that's what he tells me. He says everybody needs to go at least once. I've
That's
tried to go 3 different times and something's always happened. So I'm gonna plan to go next year.
I really think, Phil, you started
really-
trying to walk by every airplane there. You could not walk by every airplane there in the week that you're there.
I believe that because I heard there's got like
Yeah.
1,500
Unbelievable.
airplanes there.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
what I want to see, really, the thing I'm going to see, I've told y'all before, my dad was involved with the XP-35 Flying Wing, and I've always absolutely loved the Flying Wings. Well, the B-2 is supposed to be there.
I'll
It's
be
supposed
darned.
to at least do a flyby, and I want to see that thing.
Man, it looks
I've
evil. If you get the one in Dayton, Ohio, you'll go, woo, get back. That thing will hurt you.
Well, I saw the one in Dayton, and it was nice when it took off.
It looks like a straight out of Star Wars.
It
does.
just turned sideways. I mean, as big as this thing is, when it goes over, you can't believe this. But it didn't go far from us, and it just turned sideways to us. And between the heat signature and the fact the thing comes to nothing at the back, it just disappeared.
It's
You could hear
scary.
it, but you couldn't see it.
Scary.
It's the darndest thing I've ever seen. Now, after seeing that, I want to see the plane again, because there's something to this airplane, but it is really cool. I was taken by what Bill Northrop said when they unveiled the B-2. They took Bill Northrop, who was the guy who designed the original XP-35, or all the original flying wings, from the N9M1 to the XP-35, 49, whatever. They took Bill out there, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's sickly, he's in bad shape, and they brought him out there, and they put a model of this thing in his hand, and then they opened the doors to the hangar that it's in, so let the light in where he can see what's below him on the ground. And he looked and he started crying. He said, "Now I know what the good Lord left me around for. Why I'm still here."
That's right.
He got to see the B-2, and then he got to see the thing fly. They wanted to let him fly in it, but he was not able to do that. But he was so tickled to see that. And my dad thought the world of Bill Northrop.
Did
So-
you know that the atomic bomb dropped by Tibbets, the B-2 is the same squadron that it dropped the bombs in Hiroshima in? And Paul
No.
Tibbets' grandson is a pilot of that airplane.
That's
That was
cool.
20 years ago. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I've always wondered why, of all the planes that they saved, why did they not save the Enola Gay?
They did. Well, parts of it are saved.
That they saved the fuselage from the front to
Right.
well in front of the wing. There's a section of it left. But I've always wondered, was the darn thing radioactive or something?
No.
I don't know what it could have been.
Brock's car's still around, of course.
Yeah, it's still around. It's still flying, or
No,
was.
Brock's car's not flying. It's in the museum, but I think they still have all Enola Gay. I have to Google that, but I think it's all there. They just had a piece of it showing.
Yeah.
For space, I think I remember.
I
Go
think
ahead,
Bart
Mark.
Kaplinsky has a question or a comment. Hey, Bart.
What do you say?
Is the Enola Gay in the Air Force Museum?
No, Brock's car's in the Air Force Museum. Enola Gay's in the Smithsonian.
Smithsonian, yeah. When I was there,
Oh,
when I was
okay.
up there last time at the Garber facility, which will tell you how long ago it's been, because Garber's not there anymore. It was outside against a wall, and you could see about 30 feet of the airplane. That was it.
I think they've changed that, Phil. It's all
Well,
in
yeah,
one. It's all in one piece now in the museum.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be
It is all. It is what Google says it is. That's what I read 6 or 8 years ago.
Tore me up to hear that the Garber facility's not there anymore. Man, I don't know how they could move all those airplanes. That was an amazing place. You could get a lot closer to the airplanes there than you could in the Smithsonian. And I just was really tickled. Of course, I love bear cats, and there was a big bear cat there that you could all but touch. I forgot the name of it now. Big. Do what?
Grandpa owned an airplane called Aeronica C2. And
Yeah, I
that
remember
bear
that.
is hanging up in the Smithsonian today.
Cool. I remember that airplane. That's a
Aeronica
good
C2
plane.
hanging behind the Mustang. My grandfather owned that airplane in 1931.
Wow.
Soloed it, and I got a logbook showing it and all that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it
Yeah.
don't matter. Just an airplane.
And Bart has another comment or question. Go ahead, Bart.
Yeah, the Pima Air Museum, you can get up really close to
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, you can. I've been out there too.
Tucson, that's true.
You know, the one that
Yeah.
got me there is the old.
What makes me angry is that they destroyed all the B-49s, or the B-48 wings. So that just was really too bad, you know?
They still have what?
Yeah, your audio kind of broke up.
They
Bart.
destroyed all the Northrop flying wings.
Every
Yes.
one of them. Yes, sir.
Every
Every
one of
one.
And the tooling.
The only
What a shame.
flying wings that survived were the two, the N9M and the N9M1, and the one was restored a few years back by an outfit in California, but it was crashed
Keno.
summer before last and
Keno.
destroyed.
That's right.
Yeah, it was crashed and destroyed. So they're all gone now, I think.
Did anybody figure out why that crashed?
If it did, I never heard. I think the what I heard, and I don't know this to be true, he had a heart attack, and they think that he had a heart attack, and that was the cause of the crash. But it was either the heart attack was either what caused the crash or a result of the crash. And when I was reading it, they weren't sure which one came first.
Yeah,
But the
I
pilot
saw it
actually
several
died.
times. Yeah,
Do what?
I saw it
Yeah.
fly at Chino several times, and I couldn't believe how slow it was.
Yeah. Well, did you ever
It
see the
had two
motors?
inverted Franklins in it.
Two Franklins.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all wood airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the other one is in the Smithsonian, or was. It was the last time I saw it was in the Garber facility, the N9M1 with the wings that came up and drooped down. That was in Garber last time I saw it.
Yeah.
And it's a neat looking airplane, but it'll never fly again, but it's a neat looking plane. But those funny little motors, you wonder, how did that motor power that airplane?
With the long drive shaft.
It sure did. It sure did.
Yeah, it did.
You
It
guys,
sure
I have
did.
a question from the chat box. This is from Terry Mitchell. He says, has anyone ever built and flown a Tom Dixon KA-10?
I haven't, but
You have,
Terry
Lynn?
McDowell did. Terry McDowell did and flew it very well. He flies well.
And Lynn, did you build one? And
I
build
didn't.
and fly one?
I finished one. I got one from my buddy Peter Hansen here in Canada. He had framed it, and then I finished it. I did the covering and did the paint work and did all the final hookups and everything. And it flies pretty good. It's a pretty good airplane.
Yeah.
I've since passed it on to Brad Lapointe, and he's flying it now. He's hoping to take it to the team trials.
Wow. This
So
is the
it's
Tom
flying-
Dixon
it's flying-
KA-10?
Yep, Tom
Yeah.
Dixon KA-10. He's got a Magnum 52 XLS motor in it, and it runs beautiful. It's a really nice flying airplane. Inline, it's an inline plane, and it flies pretty
Yeah.
good. It's a good flying plane.
It does. Terry's got a Tiger 60. They flew great.
Igor Panchenko in Southern California flew one.
Oh,
Okay.
Then he built a helicopter flying on Mars.
Do what?
Then he built a helicopter that's flying on Mars.
That was a
Oh,
big
okay.
deal up there, y'all. That was
Yeah.
a huge.
You talking
That
about Kestis, you mean?
No, Igor.
Igor.
So I thought Kestis had something to do with the moon as well, I thought.
Not that I know of.
Now, Anton Gephardt, he had a KA-10.
Oh.
I remember seeing him at Whitten Arrows with a KA-10. I don't know if it was a Tom Dixon KA-10 or, you know anything about that, Jim
Big
Hoffman?
airplane.
Jim Hoffman, you ever see the KA-10 by Anton?
No, no. I'm not even sure I remember Igor's, but yeah, Igor Porchenko kind of walked away. I'm not sure what became of him. Nice fellow.
Yeah,
I
he
believe the
was.
KA-10 was world champion in '86.
I think that's
Anatoly
right.
Kolesnikov.
Yeah, sounds right. I always thought the bubble
And-
canopy, that big canopy looked kind of strange sitting up there, but then I saw it fly.
Oh,
and
it's very,
Never
very
mind what it looks
interesting,
like.
yeah.
It flies great.
It's very.
I think they were
very
trying to
big canopy
generate
on it.
side area with that canopy.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Thank
That's
you
a
for coming
very-
in, Jim. I didn't expect you, and thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I
Airplane
didn't
has
think
a
I'd
very
be able to
Russian
do
look
this
to it.
either. I may not be able to stay too long, but
No
a little
problem.
bit.
Yeah, Jim and I went out to have some coffee last night. So we was talking about airplanes and flying. Had a lot of fun.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
what's Jim really like?
Oh, he's the same.
He's
the
tall.
same. He's one of my favorite judges. Him and Joan Cox. I like getting judged by those two. If I could get those two to judge me, I know that is a really accurate score.
Oh, that's nice.
How much did you pay them?
Lots of money.
Jim is a
Yeah.
tough.
Lots and lots
Jim
of
is- I
money.
think Jim and
Jim
Joan
is a tough
tough.
judge. I remember that from
Jim
Tucson.
is- but you
Jim's
know he'll
tough.
he'll pay you. He also will reward you if you do something good too.
Oh, I know. I know.
And Joan is tough also. Joan Cox, she's tough too.
Jim, I got a question for you. What happened to Mary Gephardt? Is she still around?
Oh,
She passed away a long time ago.
Oh,
Long.
no.
long time ago.
I didn't know. She judged me at BSC when I had that box car that went so dead rich. It was doing 6-second loops. And she walked up and she said, that might be the most impressive loops I've ever seen. Nice and round and going that slow, but the plane's supposed to be going this direction, not this direction when it's going over the top. It was helicopter, something awful. It was funny. It was funny, but it was so much fun. And she was such a neat girl. I didn't know
She was
she
a
passed.
nice lady. Her and Bob
She
Hazel.
really
both.
was. She really, yes.
People
was.
really did like Mary.
A good girl, y'all.
She was a nice person.
She really
Yes.
was. She really was. She
She
always
loved
impressed
cat.
me as she was something
I have another question from the chat box. This is from John
like
Skukulek.
that.
He says, I've been flying profile stunners, and now I have a Nobler with the 46 LA, excuse me, which of course is mounted inverted, looking for ideas on how to get it started when flying alone with the Stooge.
Practice.
Practice.
3 flips and a glow driver.
Take an electric starter.
There you go.
Care not
No,
to
no,
flood
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Just
Leave 'em alone.
prime
You don't
it.
need
Take,
finger in it.
before you hook it up, take it upside down and prime the thing and get it ready. Just get it ready, flip it over, get it ready, and then put it on its wheels, back it up to the Stooge, get around front of it, connect the battery, and one flip, you should be ready to go.
Backflip.
Yeah, back flip it. I grab a lot of mine. I don't matter what I'm starting. Everybody laughs at me because I put my thumb on the spinner, I put my finger on the prop, and I back flip it real quick. And it generally, it runs. That's usually the way I start mine, but not everybody can do that. But it's an easy way to get used to doing it.
I think
So to help that question, what Phil started to describe is something that we do with an airplane that's cold, hasn't been run today, is
Yeah.
you burp it. You turn it upside down, put
Right.
a couple drops of fuel in the Venturi, no fuel in the tank, put the glow driver on and pop it through,
Mhm.
usually backwards, back bump it. And you just want to burn out that prime, and that'll loosen up the engine, burn up the oil. And you do that 2 or 3 times till it's loose. Then you can go ahead, fuel it up, put it on its wheels, and start it carefully. Careful not to flood it. That's a pretty common protocol for glow engines. I
Yeah.
saw Len nodding his head.
Was that because he
Got
was
it
agreeing or
right
because he's
on
falling
the money.
asleep?
No,
Marvin
I'm
did-
not falling asleep.
Okay.
Marvin Denny taught me when you do pull it through, when you flip it, as you flip it, turn loose of hold your finger on the Venturi. Flip it and turn loose when you're halfway through it, say. And it sucks it, but that last little bit sucks it up in the engine and gets the fuel where it needs to be. And I like pantyhose or some kind of fuel something on the Venturi If you use pantyhose and you flip it through, what gas doesn't go in the engine is laying on that pantyhose. So when you
Yeah.
flip it, you got a chance to and suck it up in there and be ready. And it's a for real deal, y'all. It's a for real deal.
Well, that's what I do. I use that too. I use it for an air cleaner too, though.
Yes, but it's handy because it holds fuel.
But another trick with a pantyhose, if you're from somewhere like I am, 900 feet, and you go to the beach or Florida, that's what happened with Florida flying a contest, and all of a sudden you find out that you can't get through the pattern. You haven't got enough fuel. You can put a second layer of pantyhose over that Venturi, and it don't get so much
Get
air.
better
in the thing.
mileage. Yeah.
You get better mileage. You get through the pattern, and it works.
It does.
All kinds of tricks to get through the
Less-
pattern.
Less nitro.
I was just gonna say it, Joe. You beat me to it.
Well, I can't use any less nitro. I'm using 0. So
Oh,
I don't know how to do less.
I don't either.
John Skukulak said, thanks, guys. Appreciate that regarding the LA 46. And then Dennis Adamison. Oh, by the way, John Skukulak is a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. And then Dennis Adamison is also a member of our YouTube channel. He says, like delivered. He says, the emergency rebuild on an airplane for this weekend's meet. Sorry, cannot join in. Now, we understand that. So he has to get an airplane together for this weekend's meet. So that's an emergency.
yeah.
And then we have old control line pilot who's also a member of our YouTube channel. That's Bob Whitley. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that, Bob. He says, like given, hopefully joining all of you on Monday, flying full size tomorrow morning, and hopefully models in the afternoon. Maybe the same schedule for Sunday. And he has a smiley face with the shades. You know,
Terrible
lots-
time.
yeah.
I'm going to
lots-
give Charles, I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Joe Daly.
All
And
right.
you guys know Joe. And last week he took one of his high voltage planes out at Flushing Meadows, and a cable came out at the bell crank.
Oh no.
Oh
and he,
Lord.
And he lost the airplane. And either the next day or 2 days later, he had a wing fold.
Oh Lord.
So he lost 2 airplanes in about 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days. But I feel for him. But
No.
yeah, he's the kind of guy. He doesn't feel sorry for himself. He just I saw where he said it's just the plane was flying so well. That's the part of it that hurts.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot to go through in a few days.
He knows what happened. He figured it out.
Yeah.
That is. Now, hey, Tryon, you want to show us what you wanted to show me? Show me earlier? I know I caught you eating, sorry, but just when I finally got a break in the action.
No, this is absolutely no problem. The discussion was not in that direction anyway. So I want to make like a little something for people that generally can make a paint scheme if their life depended on it, right?
Right.
So
I resemble that remark.
Wait a minute. I got to pay attention to this. He's talking to me.
He's talking to me. What are you talking about, Phil?
So
Brother,
the first thing basically you want to draw on a piece of paper some kind of an accurate outline of your plane, right?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then on this piece of paper, what I would do, I would just start with the fuselage, right? I made this in particular for the magazine that's done in Sweden, right? So I'm sure if you notice, like the Swedish flag theme here,
All right.
which is actually a blue flag with a yellow cross, right? So I pick up a theme for it. So as you can see, I did something for the fuselage, basically 2 crosses, a cross with a blue edge, right?
Uh-huh.
And some checkers on the bottom, right?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do with this, you want to put this on a wing, right? So if you see the pattern, we have the checker and that. And I did the same thing for the wing and the elevator. Make sense?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. So I'm repeating the pattern, the exact same pattern with a checker, right?
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So that what it does, it kind of brings the plane together, right?
Right.
All as good as all blue.
Yeah. So so this is a very, very easy way to come with a paint scheme as a beginner. You know, if you don't know how to make a paint scheme, make something for the fuselage, copy it on the wings. Why on a fuselage first, then on the wings? Is because sometimes you come with stuff on the wings that is impossible to put on a fuselage. It's much easier to go the other way around.
I agree.
Good idea.
Makes sense.
Yep, if it makes sense. Okay, yeah. Another thing that I've seen a lot of people doing some crazy stuff, it's in panel lines, right? So I think the more realistic you make your panel lines, the better off you are. And what do I mean by realistic, right? If it's something, if it looks like it's something that will be on a real plane, then it's going to look good, right? And this is the idea behind it, right? So on a real plane, they usually start with the trailing edge and put panels covering the flaps, maybe some sheeting on the top of the flaps, like a U-shape, things like that, kind of like that. They kind of overlap, right? You might have a trim tab, whatever, somewhere over there, right? And you have some rivets, the whole thing's in place, right? Now, you also have these big panel lines, right? That are also sitting on a rib. So you have like an edge for the panel line itself, right? And you might have series of dots in between them, simulating like there will be a rib over there, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to you when I'm talking. So here's an example of that.
Okay, nice.
So you see how you have the big panel lines in here, and you have like if you have ribs going through.
Right.
Okay. And you have a leading edge. You have a trailing edge piece, right? You have the wing with like, let's say the wing would be make like 1, 2, 3 panel lines, have a trim tab and a leading edge, and you have this, you know, it's like it has to make some kind of sense. Okay. I have something, I don't know what's going on here with the sound.
Yeah, you trying?
No, I don't have that.
Where's the noise coming from? Thank you, whoever did that. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Tryon.
Yeah. Okay. So here's a simplistic way of looking at. You have a wingtip, right? You can see that's a wingtip there. You can see that's a leading edge, right?
Yeah.
Let me change the angle a little bit. You see better now?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can see like you have one panel here. That's the second panel here, right? And you might have like in reality it would be some ribs that go across. So the idea is just have it make some sense, right?
Right.
You can't just make something like a bunch of rectangles that look like a bunch of bricks put together, right?
Right.
And put Zeus fittings on all 4 corners as if all panels are removable on the wing and are held on the 4 corners only.
Right. Right.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? Here's another idea. Fuselage, right?
Okay.
So you might have usually the engines have some coverings on top of them that are removable Zeus fittings, so you can take the engine apart and visit them, stuff like that. Many times on the root of the wing, you're gonna see this kind of stuff, right? So you have like a fairing that's usually riveted in there, right?
Right.
So have it make some sense, right? Of it, and this is something I came up like within a few minutes. It's just thinking about those things. I mean, you can have a super simple paint job, like a couple of lines or something like that on the fuselage and a couple of lines on the wing, and make a beautiful job on the panel lines. And man, that thing is going to look beautiful.
Thank you, Tryon. That's really good. I appreciate that.
So these are simple ideas that anybody can do. Okay, If you don't know how panel lines look on search YouTube, right? Not YouTube. I'm sorry. Search Google, right?
Right.
On planes drawings, right?
Right.
Or some kind of aircraft drawings, right? And if you zoom on them or something like that, you look at just the pictures, you can see like, oh, I see. Oh, it just starts to make sense, right? It has a frame like this, a beam in front, a beam in the back, has a leading edge that wraps around, the tips that wrap around, stuff like that come together. There's a riveted this way. And I can see the blocks of panel lines. I have the edge around it, and I have rivets all the way around it, maybe some ribs underneath it or structure. Just try to make sense of things.
Appreciate that. Great information.
And simple, like even Joe, like Joe can have like the blue plane, right? Nothing on it, right? And you stuff those panel lines and make a good job on them. Boy, that thing is gonna like, and all I have to do is just make some yellow wingtips and put a name on it. That's it.
I've never seen an airplane, a real one, that I could see the panel lines on that I wanted to get in. If it ain't painted good enough, the stuff don't fit good enough, I don't want to get in it.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, you wouldn't have liked the SR-71. I understand that was so loose that the fuel leaked out while it was sitting there.
Those airplanes, they're built very poorly.
SR-71. Come on.
Yeah, you can find a lot of this information like on World War II birds, for example. Like if you look at their panel lines or something like that, it's just like
metal is riveted together, always on a spar or a stringer. It ain't haphazardly. And aluminum comes with 4x8 sheet. And
exactly, or on the top of the rib, right?
Yeah, there's a reason.
Exactly. So if it makes sense,
still walk around the airport and you find me an airplane, you can see panel lines from 15 feet away. You can't see them. They're built too good to see panel lines. And if you see a panel line on a model airplane that's got gray paint, like it's weathered and wearing, don't get in that airplane. It's coming apart. That's a model dreams, what that is.
Go ahead, Jim.
So, Tran, that was excellent what you just showed us. A lot of people do that, and you did a very nice job of showing that. But the other unsaid thing about panel lines, two things. Less is more, and they have to be perfect. A poorly done panel line is worse than no panel line.
I agree.
Your eye will be drawn to that error.
Yep.
And if you're trying to impress an appearance judge or your buddies, they will notice that.
Yeah. Jim, I think you can balance it out, okay?
Yeah, you got that's right.
Your paint job is super simple. Go up on the panel lines, okay? If your paint job is richer, has a lot of stuff in it, go less on the panel line. So I agree with you. If you have a super simple, like a more complex, like a Spark kind of paint job, right? Where it has all kind of colors, all kind of lines everywhere, gold leaf, and God knows what else, right? You can be very frugal on the panel lines on that plane, right? Because the eye is being caught by the other stuff, right? I mean, even if you put a lot of panel lines, you're not going to be drawn to it. Your eye is going to be dominated by the paint scheme, right? And I have a super simple paint scheme, like a single symbol stripe and stuff like that, and the name. Go nuts on the panel lines.
You know, I've never done panel lines ever in my, but that's just me. Bart got his hands up. He's done them.
Go ahead, Bart Koplinski. Go ahead.
I think a lot of guys make the lines too thick.
Yeah.
Too thick. They need to be on the airplane.
Yeah.
The only thing gets me about panel lines is when you see somebody they've done a really nice semi-scale airplane, and they do something that's cloth covered, and then they put panel lines and rivets on it. There are no panel lines and no rivets on a cloth airplane.
There's rivet stitches.
I've seen two or three. We had one show up at one of our shows. He'd done a pit special. And I guess he'd been watching Sparky too much because he'd done a lot of stuff and he kept referring back to, well, Sparky does this and Sparky does it. Yeah, but Sparky don't do a cloth covered airplanes and put panel lines on it because there are none on the original, on the real one.
It's a personal preference.
Yeah, it
Really?
really is, but it just looked funny on a pit special. But
Yeah.
I gotta admit, that's one of the few biplanes control line that I've seen that really flew well. The kid could build a good airplane and he could fly. He was a young guy. But I just had to ask him, the next time you do one, think about what you're doing and think, does the real one have panel lines? It's cloth covered. So it does not have metal laying over metal. So it does not need a rivet.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like
this-
a light went on his head. He said, oh, shucks, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, like for
there's-
example, Pitts might have some panel lines, but only in the nose area, or has actually some.
Yeah, that's what I told him. It
Some
should-
stuff,
these,
you know.
these around the front are perfect.
Yeah.
He said, well, I couldn't find any documentation on where they went the rest of it. It's cloth. There are none.
There's inspection rings underneath underneath the wing, and there's an inspection plate by the aileron where the mechanism runs the rod, but there's
Yeah.
no small pieces.
Yeah.
And
There's all that, but he had them all over everything. And the next airplane that I saw him do was a P-51, and it was, I don't know where he got his documentation, but I've looked at P-51s a lot, and I have one that's not far from me. Obsession is hangared not far from me, and I go see that plane a lot. If I ever get my P-51 finished, it'll be Obsession. And man, that thing, his was gorgeous. He really was doing well. And then he went off to college, and I haven't seen him since, so I don't know what happened. I hope he'll be back.
Well, if you want to do something like that, like a scale plane, or even if it's not a scale plane, you can just get a real plane and
Yeah.
just copy whatever panel lines they have over there. And
Yeah.
I guarantee you're gonna have some gorgeous ones.
that's exactly right.
I tell you what, you can less is more, but you can have people like Sparky put it on plane and it really adds something.
Mhm.
But you can go too far with it and it just detracts.
You
Yeah.
can
Hey,
also
Joe?
put,
Joe,
You
how
can
many panel lines on a chipmunk? Just a few up front, isn't it?
Not
on the
many.
fuselage has a few metals lapped over it. You can, but from 5 feet away, you can't see them. It's painted and it's,
Yeah.
you can't see them when they're painted. And you'll never see a panel line with the gray dusting on the back of them, like the wind's blowing the dust off of them. If they're like that, that sucker's fretting and it's fixing to come apart. That's how you see if you got a loose rivet, by that fretting look.
Right.
There's material off of it. It turns black. They're done right. They're good. But put your thumb on the table and take a hammer and hit it. And then don't handle it. Hold on it down.
And go ahead, Lynn. Lynn
For me,
Burrell.
panel lines for me are for people who are good at panel lines. I suck at them. Every time I do an airplane in panel lines, it never looks as good. And I always stand there and go, shouldn't have done it. Every
It's
single time.
difficult to do well.
I don't think I've done one airplane where I looked at it after and thought, boy, that really made it better. Because for me, it just never has. I look at it after and go, darn, I shouldn't have done it. I should have left it alone.
The
And I think
Zeus's are
that's where I'm headed.
You
Yeah,
should
they're
look
not
at Fred's.
accurate. It just never works. It looks like crap. I don't like them. I don't. That's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
I won't ever do another one.
Len, you should look at Fred Chesquin panel lines and paint schemes. They are just fantastic.
No, like I say, they're for
Yeah.
people who are good at them. People who are good at them make a beautiful job of it. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
more
where it is for
difficult.
me. I'm not good at it. So
I'm with
yeah,
Lynn.
if you're really good at that sort of thing, I think that's great. But for me, it's not my game. I can't.
Look
I've
at Al
tried a
Raby's-
number of planes with it, and it always turns out the same. Crappy.
They're
Look at
not,
Al
they're
Raby's
not
I have good-
mandatory. You don't have to put them. You don't have
And
to
I
put
have
them.
good,
No.
I have good repetiograph pens and the whole bit and the ink and the whole bit. And I just, every time I do it, I bugger it up and then it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. Now I'm in a mess. So I just
No,
don't.
I agree with you, Len.
Just not gonna
It's
do it
Gotta
anymore.
they've got to look nice.
It's an art.
Al
For sure.
Raby used to be a master at it, but if you watch his tapes, if you watch the
I do it
tape of
early in the
BBQB
morning before I've
Bearcat,
had coffee.
it took him as long to do the ink lines on that plane as it took him to paint it. And he spent as much
Right.
time with paint and ink as he did building the airplane. In fact, he built it quicker because that airplane, the BBQB, was built in 2 days. That's what blew my mind. He built that airplane in 2 days. Now I've got one I'm building, and I've got a lot more than that in it, and it's nowhere near done yet. So Al was a master.
Tryon's giving good advice. Keep it simple, keep it accurate, and don't
Yes,
get
he
over.
is.
He's giving
Trying smarter than we give him credit for being. He's a smart dude. He's figured some of this stuff out very well.
Very smart guy. Absolutely. I have another comment from Terry Mitchell. He says, thanks for all the info on the KA-10. And Philip Bailey, he gave us a like. Thank you very much, Philip. Appreciate that. And we only have 19 likes. We've had as many as 30 viewers. So please, if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. It doesn't cost you a penny and it helps the program. So please smash the like button. And if you watch this as a replay, don't forget to do the super thanks. That's the way you can donate to the show. Because during the live stream, you can do the super chat, but after the show's in replay, hit the super thanks and please donate.
Super thanks. I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's underneath the screen when you watch it on YouTube with the computer. You can see the super. It's like a heart with a $sign in it, and you click that.
Okay.
Donate. That's during the replay. During the live stream, you'll just see the super chat underneath the chat box.
So Jim, I was out getting my pizza ready. Are you guys getting ready for the contest down there?
You talking to Jim Hoffman?
No.
Who are you talking to?
Excuse me, Joe Gilbert. I saw.
Yes, we'll be doing our contest the 23rd and 4th of September.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
well
I
on
was
the,
coming-
no. The team trials are first for me, October 7th and 8th. Then our contest is the 24th and 23rd and 4th. But October, if you come to October, you can go to team trials, King Orange, Zachary in October. Make a trip of it. Go across.
Yeah, just be there all month. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my plan.
There you go.
I think Dallas has one the end of the month. I think they're having one. I'm not sure. Is that Labor Day? Is that coming up? Is that right?
Labor Day's about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think Dallas has one that weekend. I'm pretty sure.
When's the North Beach, or do they already have it?
I don't know.
Howard
Mark-
knows. Howard Rush knows. Howard Rush, when is the North Beast?
He's on mute.
You got to unmute your mic, Howard.
Mark would know.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, Mark would know.
I
I
should
forget.
know.
Same day as the meet and the Fox Hurl and the local contest here. And the Ronnieberg Flying Circus.
Yeah. The Northeast event is the 16th and 17th
16, 17. Okay.
of September, with practice on the previous Friday, the 15th.
I think that's Canton, Georgia weekend too, if anybody's out east.
I
No,
think it is.
everything's the same weekend.
It's the same weekend Canton is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk to somebody about their scheduling because this year it seems like everybody, there's nothing for 2 months and then everything's on the same weekend.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
It's hard to go from Georgia to the Oregon.
Yeah, that's a pretty good distance.
Thank you, Jim Hoffman, for the light. Appreciate it.
Mark, as many miles as you put on your little Honda, you can't say a thing about how far it is. Man, you have put some miles on that little car this year.
I have. It's a 2014 CRV, and it's right at 199,000.
Did you get starter fixed?
I'm afraid to. I know I'm going to get the symbol, but I'll make this really, really quick. The car's about a month ago. Every 10th time I put the key in the ignition, I turn it, and all the lights would go on, but the starter motor wouldn't start. And then I learned to jiggle the key a little bit, and then it would start. And it finally got to the point, I even took it to West Virginia doing that, which was kind of nuts. And it did get me stuck there, but very momentarily. But Tuesday of this week, I worked on it all day trying to get it started and it wouldn't start. So I took it to the dealer and told them what the deal was. And they said, well, the good news is we can fix it. The bad news is it's $902.
Oh,
And there aren't any in the country.
Huh.
You know why?
I said, well, that's a problem. They said, no, we called 6 dealerships and none of them have the ignition module. So they gave me the car back, just the way it was. And then for whatever reason, when I picked it up from the dealer, of course, it didn't start. So my wife waited to see if I'd be camping out there or coming home. And for whatever reason, I put my foot on the brake and it started. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, does this car after 199,000 miles require me to put my foot on the brake? So I read the manual. The manual says it does.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
I'll know tomorrow whether I've lost my mind or not. It's
All
sitting
right.
sitting in front of the garage right now with a smile on the grill. And, I told my wife I wouldn't tell anyone this, but now you know who runs Pampa.
Right.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, Mark,
He's doing a good job
you'll
running
admit that-
Pampa.
We're
Mark,
right,
I
Brad,
have
you'll
a
admit you're
watchword
human
that
too.
keeps me sane. I reserve the right to be smarter today than I was yesterday.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Absolutely.
Mark?
Boy, that's not working for me.
By the sound of
Holy
it,
fair.
Mark, you're doing a good job.
Here, here.
Hey,
You're doing a
Mark.
Good job, Mark.
Yeah.
I built CRVs from 2012 until 2018.
You bastard. Couldn't you give me a good? Hey, I love that car, Lon.
I'm glad you do, Mark. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I don't know if it was built here or built in the States. I'm not sure, but yeah, I built them for a lot of years. They're great cars.
Get
Well,
back to the model airplane.
We should give
We get it. We get it, Charles.
Okay.
we should
We're
give
done.
Mark a raise so he can
Thanks,
afford to
Lon.
buy a new CRV.
Can you put a stunt ship in a CRV?
Yeah,
Two.
You put 3 in there.
I've got one.
Little ones.
I've
Big
done it.
ones?
I got the smaller one, the 2007.
I have a question from Edward Carlisle. He says, ask Mark if he's coming to Salem Sunday.
No, he's not. So the mass flying, I think Rick Huff is in charge of that. And if I go, I may never come home again with this car. So I'm staying close. Well, thanks for the question. Bob Hunt's up there.
Bob's going, I heard.
Yes.
Mark, just as a side note, have you ever took some kind of lubricant like silicone and shot it in a key and worked it in and out to make sure all the tumblers are falling where they're supposed to follow?
I have not, Joe.
You want to do graphite. Don't put a liquid in there. Use graphite, a graphite lubricant. Enough about cars. We can get back to model airplanes, please. We can talk about cars in the after party.
We're done talking.
I'll even let you host it if you want to talk about it.
I'm good.
You're too eager.
Someone else help me in the chat box.
I have a question.
All right, thank you, Tryon.
So I'm very close to flying this plane, the Vector. I'm thinking about 62 foot lines, islet to islet. Is that a good start?
Max length.
I started out at 60. I started out at 63s, and I'm down to 60s on my Vector.
There you go.
And it's I'm flying it on 60 feet. I tried 58, and that just didn't work. 60 feet and 60 feet and it's a 28, 26 nasty donkey, and it's on 4 cells. Flies great. I really like the Vector. It flies well, but I have flown the SV11 and it flies better. So
it's a bigger plane. Bigger planes fly better.
Yeah.
That being said, a small plane will also fly pretty good if you trim it well and stuff like that.
It really will. And it doesn't pull your arm off.
Mm-hmm.
You come home from flying the Vector a dozen times and your arm still feels like your arm. It doesn't feel like it's dragging the floor.
Mm-hmm.
The SV11 will wear you out. I go out with the SV11 six flights. Yeah, I do. 6 flights and I'm ready to come home. Yeah, I do use Spectra. And
Tryon, are you going to use Spectra?
I use Spectra.
Are you going to use Spectra on this new airplane?
I did the pull test on the Spectras and they were failing at low poundage, and I'm scared. Okay, so that's all I have to say about that. I don't want to. I don't want to talk down anybody's ideas or something like that, even though they might work. I would probably go with old 012 stainless steel, but braided 012. Because the rule says, like, if you pass the pull test, you're good to go, right?
Right. Use anything you want.
You can use anything, right? But I think, yeah. I had some, I think it was Max Quattro with the American flag on it, made in America, all the good shit, right? So, and I started to do, there were a 50-pound test lines, and I pulled them up, and at 15 they were breaking.
No.
So that's all I have to say about it. Okay. No. So I'm scared of it. Okay. This is honest.
Max Quattro too. I won't use it.
No.
I'll use regular, but I won't use Max Quattro.
Yeah. I also did a secondary test in which I stretched them out. I got 2 lines that are equal in size, so both the same length, and I started to put some pressure on them up to about, I think I went up to 15 pounds or so, and I found that they stretch a little bit longer than the stainless steel lines, and so because of those 2 factors, I decided not to go in that direction. So that's,
Yeah.
Some people work for them, good for them. I mean, I'm happy for them. So
just for what it's worth, I've had less trouble with the regular Quattro, with the regular something Pro, whatever it's called, than I have with the Max Quattro. The Max
Power
Quattro,
Pro, Power Pro. Yeah.
Regular Power Pro seems to work better.
I agree.
I'm using that. And the Quattro I had was 100-pound and it was breaking at 30.
But I won't use Quattro.
But the regular stuff I've got measures 14 thousandths, which is
How-
still smaller than what I was flying my 40s on.
Mhm.
And it's I pulled it to I put it together, the two strings together, two strings. Oh Lord, I sound like one of these guys. Are you flying one of them guys flies on strings? Oh, I hate that. Anyway, I took the two and put them together and pulled it to 40 pounds and held it for a minute, and nothing seemed to move. And we measured them. It stretched about 3/4 of an inch. That's total length, which is a lot less than what it usually stretches, or what I thought, what I was expecting it to stretch.
Mhm.
So we put it together, put it on the airplane, it flew. And I've always noticed going from my handle, because I fly my hand in front of me like this, I've always noticed the line going to the plane dips about a foot. Well, this stuff don't. It's straight to the airplane. And that was just the wildest thing for me.
Mhm.
So I think I'm gonna stick with this, but it was
So,
tested
but
and
what
retested.
was the stuff that you were using, Phil?
The first stuff was Max Quattro,
Uh-huh.
and that was breaking. I
Yeah.
had trouble with that. The stuff I'm using now is just tell him, Lynn, I can't remember the name of it. You just told me.
Regular Power Pro,
Power
not
Pro.
Max Quattro.
And
So
not
and
the Max
I
Quattro
use
stuff.
on a 46 size airplane, I use 65-pound test.
That's what I'm using, 65 pounds.
On a 60 size airplane or higher, I use 100-pound test,
No.
Okay.
and I have
So
not had any problems.
How thick is the 65?
I think it's
I
14
believe it.
thousandths.
I think it's 14 thou.
Okay.
Jim,
Well,
I
thinner
wanna
than the
ask a
wire.
question,
Yeah.
you guys.
Go ahead, Jim.
So
So disclaimer, I just, when I tested one line only. Okay. I didn't test
Okay.
like two lines or putting.
Well,
four
this was two lines put together end to end, so it was like one line.
or single line.
And it was 65 pounds, so I was just gonna pull it. I pulled it to 40 and held it for a minute. And then that was enough. I
That's
put it
what
on
you
the
want to
That-
do, because
that
that's
I
how
would be
you
happy
stretch it.
with. That I would be
That's what
happy
you
with.
want to do to stretch it.
Yeah.
When I make
And it
up a
worked.
set of lines, I put them both together and I pull them about, I don't know, I don't measure the pull, but probably about 50, 60 pounds. And I hold both of them together for a minute,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they're ready to go. They shouldn't
Yeah.
stretch much at all after that.
Well, what I figured was it's 65-pound test line. I only pulled it to 40 pounds, but that's 40 pounds on the full thread. It's 40 pounds on everything.
Okay.
All the knots, everything, all at the same time. It's all getting equal tension. It's got to stretch the same because it's the same. But when you double it up, you got two lines. So you only got half as much force on it. And it held at 40. So now to me, it's got to work. And you know, everybody says, well, you got it, if it's 65 or 100-pound line, you need to pull it. It's full, the 100 pounds or whatever. Let me ask
I
you something.
don't.
When was the last time you held even a Tiger 60 or I've flown a PA 75? I have never had anything that pulled 40 pounds. It pulled you off your feet.
Exactly. At 40 pounds, you pull the guy off his feet on a pull test, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
just,
how heavy are our planes? Like 5 pounds max, around 5-ish,
something
right?
like that. Something
Exactly.
Five,
Hey, guys,
five.
can I
So
interrupt for a
it's 15
second?
pounds that you're pulling on normal basis, unless the wind is blowing super hard.
Let me interrupt for a second. Joe Gilbert, he left us unplanned because his iPhone, his iPad died, even though it was plugged in. So he's going to try to switch charges and come back. I was wondering when he comes back, if you guys can all give him a round of applause. I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
we can do that.
expecting that. So if he comes back in, let's give him a round of applause.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Lordy. But
Go
anyway,
ahead, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to before he gets back in here.
that line is I made up 3 sets and was scared to use it. And you could take it and, you know, make a short piece and pop it and bust it. And it scared me because I just did not, I was scared to use it.
Oh,
But honestly, I got to a show and my steel lines broke. They're really the brass ones from Ukraine. And I had to try something. So I had these 100-pound lines and I had this 40 size airplane, a Vector, and I
No
put them on and flew it. Oh Lord, other than having to take wingtip weight out of it and move the lines, I can't remember whether I moved them front or back, but I had to move the lines at about 1/8 of an inch to get the same feel. because less drag on the line. I think I moved them back. Can't remember. Less drag on the line. The plane felt different, flew different. And the only place I really noticed it was on the figure eight when you or the square maneuvers, when you're doing that outside maneuver pitching down, it got really weird on the lines there. And I said, well, this ain't right. So I got to thinking about it. I said, well, I'm not got the drag on the lines. So that means there's not that much drag on the airplane. So I don't need to put the lines in the same place. Which way do I need to move them? And now I can't remember which way I moved them. I think I brought them back some because I think they were too far forward. But anyway, once I
So
got
I
it
see.
trimmed out, it flies better now than it ever
Here
did.
comes Joe Gilbert.
But I like it.
It worked. Sorry about that.
Very good, Joe.
Well done.
Good to have you back, buddy.
I'm computer challenged.
You
Hey, we
succeeded.
all-
Joe, I couldn't get on tonight, and I just called across the room and I said, Vicky, come here and tell me what I'm doing wrong. This crazy thing knew she was coming and it started working.
Phil,
Good
is this
shot.
it?
That's it. That's Power Pro. That's it.
That's
That
the
works.
good stuff.
Here you go.
That's the good stuff. And you can get the
That's
stuff
the good
from
stuff right there.
get the stuff that Dennis Adamison's been talking about, and it works good too.
Okay.
This is what AMA originally said we could use. It's what the combat flyers were using. It's what Mike was talking to us about.
But
and it
not
works.
Max Quattro.
No, well,
Not
he was
Max
talking about Max
Quattro.
Quattro over there for a long time, but I think
Yeah,
we've had
I
a
won't
bad
use
batch
it.
of the Quattro. I took
Alright,
some of the Quattro and put it on my flipping rod and went fishing with it. And I set the hook on a fish. I don't know how big he was because the line popped and I never got to see him.
Wow.
I won't use the Quattro
I-
anymore.
I haven't even bought a roll of Quattro. I've just bought the regular and I've had
Yeah.
no problems. So I'm not going to the
Yeah.
other.
So
Well, I
long
don't use
story
the
short,
Quattro.
yeah, long story short, I was using the wrong stuff. And I
Yeah,
was
use
buying
this
the wrong
stuff. Use
Okay,
this stuff.
got it.
I think Jim Hoppin's trying to get our attention as well.
So I think there's a lot of merit to Spectra, and I've invested some time and energy into using it. So the lessons I've learned are I measure everything, and they tend to I've bought fins and Max Quattro and maybe another one. They tend to break, and this is a complete set of lines with the knots and all that, at about 50% of the rated value. It's been pretty consistent. So what I've done is I know what a 10G pull test is on a specific airframe, and I make sure that I create a set of lines that could stand the 10G pull test plus at least 20, 30% more. And I do it. I over test the lines before I fly them. And I've had success with that. I haven't flown a big one. I have a 55-ounce Pathfinder on, I think they're fins. That's been very successful. And that's been my approach. I also, Dennis, God bless Dennis, but he pointed out that fins you're buying directly from the factory, so the chances of counterfeit are greatly reduced. And I'm going to stay with fins until for right now. So, but I like them. I haven't had the courage to put them on my Predator, but they're on a 55-ounce Pathfinder, and I like them. That's my 2 cents.
I've been flying my SV11 with Spectra lines that Dennis Adamison prepared for me probably been at least 8-9 months ago. I've been flying them since. Every time I fly my SV11s on those Spectra lines, they're green.
Have
And I
they
don't know
passed the 10G pull test?
Oh yeah,
Okay, good.
I think they've been in 3 contests and they passed each time. No problem. So, and I don't remember what Dennis sent me. He sent them to me to try them, and I forgot what they are. If he was here, he could tell you what he sent me, but I don't remember.
What about this? I see this blue line Power Pro.
I don't know.
Never tried it.
Yeah, I think
I
Dennis
can tell you, don't
blue
buy the
and yellow
green.
for the crane flag. That's what he's been using lately.
I agree with Jim. Don't buy the green. You can't see it. People, it's just awful. Like you lose it in the grass, you lose it everywhere.
You lose it
Lose it in
everywhere.
the grass, you lose it on the asphalt. You can't see it.
Oh, it's
It's just not
awful.
worth it.
You
Get the
I have
yellow, the
ye-
white,
yellow
the
or
red.
white.
I like yellow.
Get the
Yeah,
yellow,
red,
the white,
yellow,
or the
white, or
red. I
blue.
use yellow. And
Mhm.
and somebody steps on
Me
that
too.
stuff, laying in the grass or on the asphalt, they are not paying any attention. Because this stuff
But-
just absolutely glows in the grass.
I think the smaller airplanes benefit from them. So I have a 35 size airplane that'll get flown hopefully in a few months. And I think the maiden flight is going to be with Spectra. I hope I don't have to put inboard tip weight on. It's got permanent tip weight in there. I'm so clever.
Hey guys, I'm going to be ending the show early tonight. My wife is too sick to pick up my daughter from work, and I don't want to be late. I don't want to be waiting out in the evening for us to pick her up. So I want to thank everybody for coming in, and I'm always surprised how well the show is and who shows up. So thank you so much for your continued patronage of the show and supporting me. I appreciate it immensely. Thank you so much. Brent Williams says, "Hola, y'all." Hola.
Well done, Charles.
Hola,
Well
Brent.
done.
Hola. Hola. Thank you so much, Joe Gilbert. I appreciate it. And anyways, hey, this is the weekend. Hopefully you guys who are in this inclement weather can get a break and you can paint and fly and build and come back and tell me all about it Monday. So until then, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.